Okay guys, it looks definitely much better at such a green day, but the question is, can we trust this green day? Because I believe that this is the question that I've been asking for a couple of last days, right? It could be a fake out. Let's see. Let's have a look at technicals and some potentially bullish news, in my opinion, that could potentially finally push this market towards the upside, because I believe, guys, that you are sick of me saying that the altcoin season is going to come and Kaspa is going to pump. I'm pretty much sick of saying that, but of course we do have to follow the data. So if you are new to the channel, consider subscribing, and a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. My name is Luke, and let's get the party started, okay? So obviously you see what's pumping, right? If it comes to 1 to 100. Now if it comes to Kaspa increased its value 5.1% in the last 24 hours, and now if it comes to Kaspa being mined, we are sitting at 89.86%. I know that you guys don't really care about it now, but long term it is very important. That's why I'm mentioning about it. Now ranking, okay, this obviously is the way it is, and the market cap is sitting at $2 billion. So the first bullish news is that White House will have the first ever crypto summit, and that's going to happen on 7th of March, which is what, pretty much less than a week from now on. And this is where I believe the strategic Bitcoin reserve is going to be announced, and that potentially can, you know, spark some positivity for a crypto and hopefully altcoin season. But again, if this is going to be the case, then probably Bitcoin is going to see another pump, right? And we are going to get into Bitcoin a little bit in here, guys, in this video, but please remember that we have to follow what Bitcoin is doing very closely in order to kind of see of how much potential Kaspa could potentially have, short time frame and of course long time frame as well. Okay, so now let's actually have a look into technicals. Okay, this is going to be Bitcoin. Okay, this is the CME gap. First of all, guys, I believe that this is almost kind of, you know, filled, this gap, right? That was one of the things that we've been hoping for, basically measure this bottom, right, local bottom for BTC, and we have almost filled this gap in here. So I believe that this is quite a good thing. The question is, can we go wick down again to actually smash through this last candle in here, that gap on 8th of November? Definitely not out of the question. But now looking at BTC's price action on Bitstamp chart, which obviously has the biggest amount of history, we see, guys, that this could be a little fake out, because you see what's going on the daily, right? We do have a huge selling pressure on a daily, and if I'm going to actually go to 4 hourly, yes, we do have a pump, and that pump is actually pump of how many percent? That is pretty much 10%. Obviously that's the reason why altcoins are pumping. So now let's have a look at Kaspa. So guys, first of all, I guess that I was well, let's say right in this particular occasion. Kaspa actually smashed even lower. Okay, so I wasn't fully right? As you can clearly see, guys, you cannot always be right 100%, but obviously weighting the probabilities is key to winning in this market. Now what we saw is that push towards the upside after flipping this level of 0.08 cents into resistance, and we have basically got rejected, and that was what, yesterday, 28th of February, and we had another basically try in here. We got pushed down, another attempt, and then quick push towards the downside, and now on 4 hourly our beloved Kaspa unfortunately is flying down. Okay, let's actually have a look at some indicators. So probably the first one that we are going to look at is going to be stochastic RSI, which obviously helps us with you know, looking at that oversold and you know, overbought areas, right? So now that tells me that Kaspa could potentially go towards the downside again, but that's only 4 hourly, guys. And let's actually find some level of support in here if it comes to the daily time frame. So the first thing that I see on the chart, and I know it's going lower and lower, right? But probably vicinity of this area, since Kaspa was pretty much you know, being rejected and interacting with this trend line in here, I am going to put the horizontal line in here. So another area of support, if Kaspa is going to pretty much not bounce, which is not juicy, that's going to be 0.06. Oh my goodness. So the question is that person that was saying 5 cents for Kaspa was right? Oh my goodness, I don't want to say it, but this is what's going on, right? We've got lower lows for Kaspa and pretty much a sell-off, right? This is daily time frame, guys, right? Well, good question. What's going to happen, right? You see 4 hourly is showing us that we are basically going towards the downside. So even if that is going to happen, I believe that's going to be a quick momentum kind of a gainer, and we are going to bounce from here, because daily, well, at least if it comes to stochastic RSI, is already showing us that it could potentially bounce towards the upside, right? But of course, this is just a daily time frame. Weekly is showing us a bullish divergence, hopefully, and bullish cross here on a stochastic RSI. Now obviously it depends what is going to happen with this chart, and that is altcoins dominance, right? Well, orders dominance on a weekly time frame. This is a little bit of a macro kind of a trend. Let me actually go to the daily time frame to show you guys of what's happening, right? So we had the first attempt over here closing above this very important level of resistance, and we have flipped it into support, and on a daily we have closed above this level. We are currently being supported, guys. So I believe that this is juicy, especially given the fact if we are going to look at the weekly time frame here for altcoins, we do have this bullish cross happening. And if I'm going to zoom this out, guys, we see what can potentially happen, right? Again, I'm not telling you that you are going to see a full-blown altcoin season, because it's definitely possible that we are actually going to go in here. Altcoins are going towards its previous all-time highs, and then we got rejected again, because why not? And then probably retest this level as a support again, and then potentially even break out, right? It can take a while given the fact of what's happening, especially now at White House, right? So Bitcoin still gonna see pretty much momentum, I believe, and I do believe that Bitcoin could see the last leg towards the upside, right? And yes, I know they are announcing the Bitcoin strategic reserve, and everybody's saying that Bitcoin is going to cost 1 million, but of course I believe that there is still a time for Bitcoin to actually see that 1 million. So in this particular case, many YouTubers actually are, well, thinking that we are in here, and I would agree with that. Okay, so what I was kind of thinking is that we could see something like pretty much blow off top, let's say, and then no complacency. I don't know why I was thinking this way. Nonetheless, that was my kind of conviction, right? However, it perfectly makes sense, right? Even if we are going to see a little bit of a more pain for BTC, because everything of course might happen, and then another last proper push for BTC, let's say going to 116, potentially 120. It all depends for how long it's going to go, right? So there you go, your quick Bitcoin analysis. Of course, I could be very wrong, guys, right? We could see much higher prices for BTC as per other charts that I have found for you on X, right? Anyways, guys, now if we are going to look at 28th, if it comes to BTC inflows, we do have finally some positivity. We've got 94.3 million, and if it comes to Ethereum, we are sitting at negativity, right? 41.9 mil. We are going to see how things are going to roll from Monday. Of course, you are going to see the first update regarding that on Tuesday. Nonetheless, patience is key. And now, guys, now looking at this chart, obviously Bitcoin is following global M2, right? This is something that I was showing you per Colin's posts, and different ones also as an indicator on my chart, but in today's you've got this one. So guys, looking at this, right, we can clearly see that BTC still potentially could do a little bit of a shakiness, right? I'm not entirely sure of how exactly it is correlated in terms of days, but obviously there is around 45 or 70 days of offset. Nonetheless, we do see that global liquidity has risen to the levels that it did previously, right? Around 108 trillion before, and now, guys, we are at roughly, I don't know, 107 or something, right? Nonetheless, that's going to be another leg for BTC, and hopefully it's going to push altcoins towards the upside finally, right? But now, guys, also the positivity is kind of caused by the fact that we've got around 825 billion that was added to the US stock market today. I don't really have the data, but I do believe that maybe was some kind of a clarity in terms of these tariffs, or less fear in terms of the stock market, which obviously is a positive thing. And now Mr. Prof is pointing something out. This is two weekly time frame for BTC's dominance, and he's pointing this structure, right? So we had the first kind of peak in here, then we saw the pre-altcoin season, just like we saw in December, January, right? And then the second one basically happened in here, and what he has spotted on 2 weeks weekly is pretty much this scenario in here, right? So guys, hopefully this guy is right. Of course, I'm not saying that he is, but it is very similar. And if this target is actually going to play along, well, we could expect some juicy gains in the future, foreseeable future. Also, Ash Crypto is pointing this out. Bitcoin is mimicking the gold rally, and the recent liquidation event is similar to gold Q4 price action. And he thinks that BTC has most likely bottomed out, and now the next leg up towards 125k will start. Well, hopefully he's right, okay, because obviously gold is pretty much doing very similar thing, right? So I guess from now on it's going to be definitely, you know, worth it to look at gold prices. But guys, I don't want to make this video too long. I want to quickly show you the liquidity levels, okay, because you saw we had around 10% pump for BTC, and of course everybody's longing, right? But remember that there are also market makers and manipulators and mafia, and I'm not saying that they're always manipulating the price, but you saw what was happening, right, in a recent let's say 2 weeks, right? Nonetheless, guys, we do have significant amount of liquidity at 82,800, which I believe wouldn't really be that bad, okay? I don't really care, guys, as long as it's not 70 or something. People obviously are shaking their pants and the sentiment is going lower. Anyways, let me not digress further, and let's have a look at our beloved Kaspa, right? So even without looking at a liquidity heat map, guys, I was basically kind of saying that we could see you know, a little bit of a downward momentum for Kaspa based on the stochastic RSI being in overheated level, and that kind of coincides with this, right? Another area of confluence. So we got 0.07, and lower levels we got 0.07, and let's actually have a look if we have 0.6 anywhere. Let's actually switch it to let's say 48 hourly, and we are going to get a very quick update regarding that, right? So guys, we do have liquidity towards the downside, okay? Of course, it's not financial advice, but if you're still bullish on Kaspa, and I would imagine that you are, since you are watching these videos, I guess it's a good opportunity to scoop up more, okay? So use my links below this video if you don't have an exchange, right? And of course, Tangent wallet for the security purposes if you want to secure your crypto. Guys, I hope that you have enjoyed this update, and as always, peace and love, crypto.